Culture magazine and Lakshmi Bee. I can't believe I'm here at the Arias. I feel so blessed to be here. We've met some incredible people, we've had some amazing interviews, and it's been an awesome day. So what am I wearing? This was one of my collection pieces from the Dinner at Tiffany's collection. My whole outfit is 100% recycled from old fabrics, scraps, and unused clothing. Who would have thought you could wear something recycled to an event like this? Another example of using what you already have. I can't wait to see you guys at the next event. My name is Lakshmi, and of course I'm a fashion designer, and I do a couple of other things in real estate. I do some stuff with magazines and some foundational and charity work. And Lakshmi Bee is my sustainable label, and I am the director and fashion designer of Lakshmi Bee alongside my mom, Susan. Basically, when I was really young, my mom used to make all of our clothes. So it pretty much started with her. And I remember when I was really young, we didn't have a lot growing up. So she would take some of her old clothes, or my grandma's old clothes, family, and she'd turn them into new fashion for me. And she'd always make me like all these cute new little dresses every week. I had something new to wear, and she would style it right from the shoes all the way to the bow on my head. Everything was matching. So that's pretty much how it started, and I just loved it. I loved wearing a new outfit every day. Just watching her, I asked her, you know, like, how do you do this? Can you show me how to do it? And I must have been like 4.5 or 5 when I got into it. And she ended up showing me how to do it, so I made clothes for my dolls. So it kind of went from there, and we used to actually make dolls from scratch as well. So we couldn't really afford like the latest Barbie and stuff. So she would get her old stockings and stuff them, and then we'd make clothes for these little stocking dolls, and then we'd sew like button eyes on them with like wool hair, and then we made like a dollhouse out of cereal boxes, and honestly that was the funnest play toy that I've ever had. Okay, so when did I start taking fashion seriously? So it's kind of like 2 sections to this. So basically you could technically say it was from when I was 4.5 to 5. So at every school they have these like fancy dress competitions, and basically me and my mum would make clothes together, and we'd enter every single fancy dress competition that the school had. And the craziest thing is, ever since that young age, from the first one we did, we won every single one for 12 years running, including the subcategories. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. So it kind of started from there. Basically, when I was at school, I'd always wear my own creations. So if we had like free dress day, I'd wear a creation. Everyone's like, whoa, like that's so cool. Can you make me one? So I'd make clothes for my friends. And then my parents said, why don't you start charging for it? You know, like, why don't you create a business out of this? And I was like, yeah. So this was at 15. And this is when me and my mom officially created Lakshmi Bee, the label. And you know, we were getting like a website ready and all of that kind of stuff. And then I decided to study fashion professionally at fashion school. When I was at fashion school, I heard of this competition called the National Retail Association. And this was one of the biggest fashion competitions in the country. And having the connections, I was able to enter. And we were one of the youngest contestants there. And basically, having won all these competitions throughout my school years, I thought, yeah, like, you know, we've got this in the bag, like, we'll definitely get it. And I was so confident that we were gonna win. So we entered, and basically entering the professional fashion industry for the first time. Of course, there's a lot of criteria that they judge on. It's not just whether it looks good, it's how it's made, and the pattern making, workmanship, sewing skills, you know, whole professionalism of the garment. And obviously, you know, I was still in training, so I didn't have everything down packed. It's even on camera, when the things come out, the whole audience like, whoa, like look at that. And the judges are not even looking. They're literally just like, I'm just like, why aren't they looking? And so I was so devastated. And we didn't even get a single placement. And then I still remember, I'll never forget it. I walked backstage to go pick up the clothes and they were just trash, like on the floor. Like they were literally on the ground. These things that we spent months making and creating. And I was 17 years old, you know, still young, still growing, and I was just so devastated. It's a huge contrast entering the industry at such a young age to re-entering the industry as a wiser, more knowledgeable adult. I mean, I think it depends how you're brought up. You know, some people, you know, are brought up in this industry since the day they were born, so their experience will be different. I think when you're that young and you enter into an industry where you see the lights and the cameras and all that, like it does get to you a little bit, you're not as grounded. I noticed it with the other designers as well. You just, it's almost like do or die. It's like, this is it. Like when you're that age, you always think, this is my last chance. This is my only thing. And you forget that life goes on and you will have another opportunity to do something. When you're that young, it's like, I'm gonna do it. And this is it. I'm like, we're gonna do this. And if we don't, and like there's so many people who cry. Like I remember at fashion school, you couldn't believe the tears like in that sewing room. Like some kids will like go under the table and like sob, like if they couldn't, you know, achieve something that they wanted to achieve. Like it was just like do or die, do or die. Yeah. Whereas when you get older and you realize life goes on and it's not a big deal, you know, like everyone has their day.
Yeah.
And if it's meant for you, you know, you'll get your opportunity.
Yeah.
It's fine.